Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you so much for joining me again today for another card making video. Super wet and soggy here today, so I'm indoors creating. So today we're going to play with a new set called Gift of Joy. It's a two-step stamp, so you can use the outlines and the stamps to do some colouring in there. So we've got sort of some florals, we've got this lovely gift package bauble, the sort of swag thing, super little stocking, and some cute greetings as well. So nice little set, just standalone photopolymer set, no dies that goes with this, but we're going to work with the perennial postage set today, and I've got this square out just to do that's sort of big enough to go around the little parcels that we're going to make. Okay, so I'll just leave that one out, and I've got the three stamps that make up the little gift parcel. So you've got like a square outline, little striped bit for the the paper, and then there's this little nice squiggly bow. Okay, so we've got those, and I've also got the Merry, it says Happy Christmas actually, so that might be a little annoying for us here in the UK. We don't generally say Happy Christmas, we say Merry Christmas, but there is a separate Merry in the same font, so you could actually stamp it separately, and in fact you could then stack it or make it one long sentiment as well. So there are options. Okay, so I messed about with some traditional colours and did some layering. We do have some vellum coming soon as part of an online exclusive release in November, so there's a bit of a sneaky peek for you here. It's really thick vellum that's coming in 12 by 12. So yeah, just layered up those dies there. This Poppy Parade piece, this is two-tone cardstock, and I've used the light side, is actually double dot, well, it's actually triple die cut because I had to make it shorter and narrower. So I had to cut that down a couple of times just to get that layering look. So it's this die that I used for the vellum, cut again to make a layer. There wasn't one in the set to make it, so this is one way of doing it with the traditional colours. We're going to make something completely different, okay, with non-traditional colours, and we're going to use Pool Party, but we're going to make a top fold horizontal card rather than a vertical card. I've got some white willow to stamp on. We're going to bring in some Petunia Pop two-tone cardstock, so we've got the dark and the light side, and we'll work out which one we're going to use later. Bit of vellum, okay. This is actually some vellum I had just lying about. There's just a few bits left over, so the new one is going to be very thick. Can't wait. I've already used it a couple of times. At this point in time, I can't remember whether those videos have gone out or not, but it's coming and it's fab. You don't realise how much you miss a product until all of a sudden it's available to you. Okay, so let's pop those to one side for the moment. Okay, and we've got our white willow, which hopefully should be enough. There should be enough cardstock on here to cut out 3 of these, but there may not be. So we've got plenty of cardstock, it's fine. I've got a couple of other bits and pieces here, so I can always cut those again. Now, I'm thinking it might be easier for me to actually die cut my squares first, and I'm going to do 3 across the middle of the card and possibly pop up the middle one, because I think they're going to overlap a little bit, and then that will make that cute. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we'll die cut 3 of these, okay, and we'll use these stamps. Okay, so My thoughts are that with the pool party base, I'm going to use the Petunia Pop ink to actually stamp the parcels. Okay. Oops. Got a very well loved cutting plate, so the dies will sometimes get a bit stuck. It's fine. It's just, oh, and then I've just dropped it in the bin. 1 minute. There it is. Got it. Got it. So yes, we're going to use Petunia Pop. Just toying with the idea of adding some silver embossing as well. Still might heat emboss the sentiment. Okay, so this video might go on a little while because we've got all the bits to do. But I figured I'd hang out with you guys because it's wet and miserable outside. So, oh my goodness, almost dropped it in the bin again. Maybe I should move the bin. Right, all be less this go. Well, I'm going to show you the negative of this. These 3 squares just about fit across this piece of white willow. Look at that, cool, right? So I've got 3 of them now. Let's put that on the magnet so it's not going to go anywhere. Okay, so we've got these guys that we can stamp on now. Okay, Petunia Pop ink is what we need. But I'm kind of, I think I might, yeah, no, it's okay. I'm wondering what colour to do my little bows in, and I'm thinking I might do the bows in another contrasting colour. Okay, maybe I'll use like Fresh Freesia or Highland Heather or something like that to keep with that sort of blue and purpley pink kind of tone. So the only thing that's going to make this a Christmas card is the sentiment. So if you were looking to make a birthday card, this would also be a fab set to use. Okay, so with the little stripes, we can just pop those in, just hover over the top. It's one of those sets that sort of a little bit grungy looking, I would say, because this is almost like it's like a distinctive one. And then this one, I'm going to make the stripes go the other way, just because, oh no, I can't, because it's the, oh no, maybe I can. So a quarter turn will make them go the other way. Okay, so that one might be the middle one then. And you'll want to get that thingy. And then we want a nice bow on top of there. Okay, what colour shall we do for that? Should we do I feel like we want something that's gonna sort of pop on there. We could do blackberry. Just want something that will, because if I do pale colour, it's going to sink into the background, is my only thought. Unless we go with something like blueberry bushel or something like that. Let's do a couple in blueberry bushel. And it kind of keeps that blue kind of feel. Let's do those ones in the, it looks nice with blueberry actually. That looks cool. And then let's do one in need a chamois. Oh, let's wipe that off. Let's do grape. because we can. Okay, so on camera they probably don't look that different, if I'm honest, but in real life, I don't know whether you can tell actually. Okay, that's cool. Look nice. Looks nice. And then on the original card, I actually did a little bit of inking on here. You see, we've got that edge on there. So again, just to sort of tie things together a little bit, you can do a little bit of inking on here. So I'm just going to bring in some scrap paper just to do this. And if you pop your die back over the top, you can add a bit of ink to it. Okay, so I'm going to do those. So that's going to be left one, the right one. So I'm not necessarily doing it on all of the sides. And then this is our one that's going to be in the centre. So I think I'll do this corner and that corner. Make sure you get your ink all off that before you put it away. And then that means that we've got our nice little sort of trio of gifts that we can pop in there, and the little bit of inking just gives them a little bit of definition as well. Okay, so let's pop things. So when you're not sure about how things are going to go together, it's a good idea to bring out your bits and pieces and see how things might work out. And actually, do you know what? They fit side by side. Ooh, look at that. We could have them literally touching each other, with this merest of gaps between them, and then cut a border around, just to have that hint of petunia around there, which would be super cute. And we do have our vellum as well, so let's see. Do we want the light side or do we want the dark side? It's difficult to know sometimes. Don't know whether that's a bit samey having it on the dark. I think we'll have it on the light. Okay, cool. So I think what I'm going to do is, let me just check that that's the right width for that, because I don't know how big this piece of petunia is, because it's just literally a bit that I got out of the scrap bin. Okay, stamp and seal. Oops. So we're winging it today, people. So I'm not sure all of you will necessarily enjoy that kind of thing, but sometimes, you know what, you've got to like think on your feet. You know, it's that card that you've forgotten to make. It's that that you need in a hurry. So we'll pop those ones on there, and I'm deliberately not putting the third one on in case I want to pop it up. So I'm going to pop that in the trimmer so I can barely see where the edge of that square finishes, and that should give you a nice even border all the way around. Okay, so that looks okay. Let's bring in the card base again and sort of just check as we go along how we're doing. You know what, I think it might need to be flat with everything else popped up, so let's do that. and I can still pop my vellum behind it. It's just going to be a border along the top and the bottom rather than all the way around because there isn't room. So by putting the two on the outside, you can then make sure that you've got your distance between the outer two and the centre one equal. Okay, if you try and sort of move along the cardstock, unless you're absolutely sure it's going to be shorter, you can run out of room and it can look odd. So that's not going to look odd because, sorry, I've got a really squeaky stool. Got to get some WD-40 or something. Okay, that's not going to look odd at all. Okay, we might even pop it more towards the top and pop in a cute little sentiment across the bottom, which we still might heat emboss. Okay, so now I want a strip of vellum which will soften this all off. Okay, so it's a bit on the long side. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Chew! Oh dear. Right, it's not quite 2 inches, so I'm going to make this. I'm going to go 2.5 and have a nice deep border. So bring in the trimmer. Love this trimmer. I liked the original Stampin' Up trimmer, and at first I wasn't overly keen on this one, but I've grown to like it. Okay, and I need, how much do I need off there? How long is this? It is about it's just short of this 5 3/4, which is what I would normally do a card layer at, actually. So let's just take that little skinny little bit off. And we can layer that on. We'll just use some seal. Across there. So again, just line it up at one end. Line it up at the other. Okay, and if you want to burnish it, like so. And now that we've got that, we can actually put dimensionals behind that, and we'll make sure it goes on the petunia pop, and that can be lifted without showing any glue behind our vellum. And we've got those strips that we can use for something else. This is cute. So this could easily be a birthday card or any other gift giving time. Those are not stamping dimensionals. What are those? Let's get some dimensionals. Okay, I think someone else has been crafting in my room. It's quite a long strip, so let's just make sure that we've got enough there just to hold that nice and straight and flat. Okay, and these come off really easily, she says. I don't know, there's something about the shape of them, I think. I don't know, just must be the right pointiness. I don't know, for those. And if you're not sure about positioning, don't forget you can add some wet glue over the top, which gives you a bit of wriggle room. Okay, so I'm just going to go slightly high on the card. Ooh. And then let's try and get it straight, shall we? totally stamp on the background first as well if you want to just jazz it up a little bit. Cute. Okay, right. So then we need our little sentiment just to sort of offset that a little bit. And we could heat emboss it, but I don't think that's necessarily in keeping with everything that we've got on there. And just so that we bring in a little bit more of the other colour, I'm going to use the Gorgeous Grape to stamp that. Oops. Like I say, I'm going to keep with the sentiment in the set and just go with a Happy Christmas. So I'm going to give myself some room so that I can see what I want to do. I can either cut it down or use a flag end or do whatever I need to do with it. And then it's, where does it go? Do I just pop it in? See, this is always the thing with this kind of stuff. This is the bit I always struggle with, is always where does this go to make it look like it's part of the design. And it might actually have to go in the middle. I was thinking of offsetting it, but it might have to go in the middle. Okay, now then, will this fit through a stylish shape? It might. I love the stylish shapes. It just, I don't know, just seem to always end up gravitating to them. I'm just going to pop that into there. I'm just going to flip it over, and my cut line is literally the same width as that, so that's going to work just about. Okay, so let's just run that through the die cut machine quickly. It's almost too skinny, but I think we're going to get away with it. Oh my goodness, if I can get it out of the die, that would be even better. Yeah, look at that. Literally just the right width. Okay, and then this guy can also be popped up onto some dimensionals, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use minis. I'll put them towards the bottom of that, so that it overlaps that vellum which is already popped up. So again, we'll put on a nice little row of those to make sure it's supported. Now the minis are a little tighter, so if you just do find myself reaching for tweezers for those, and then if you press in to the centre, the edges sort of curl up, which makes them easier to grab. Okay, so you could pop a little bit of glue along there if you wanted to, but I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to go for it, and that should just sort of butt up against that vellum. Cute. Okay, right, that's cute. Love it. And then we just need some bling. Bling, bling, bling. Now I think these are on, these might be retiring stroke last chance, but I think these are like, what colour are these supposed to be? Either way, they're bluey and purpley, so they'll go. What are these called? Two-tone sparkle gems. I think they're on last chance. So let's use some of them, which are super adorbs. I've got two sizes, which I totally love, so we can really make this sparkle. Okay, I may not put more than that on actually. I might just leave it at those three, but that's cute, right? I could easily just use the regular rhinestones or the iridescent pearls or something, because they will also have like that sort of bluey pinky kind of tone to them. Okay, I like that. It's way better than this one. I wasn't super happy with this, but it's there as an idea. Okay, you make that how you want to, in some traditional colours. But this one is super cute. Really, really like it. So one idea sprouting two completely different looks to your cards, really, just using that perennial postage and layering those and seeing what I came up with. Okay, so there we go. That's it for me today. Bit impromptu, a bit on the hoof, but I think that's turned out really, really nicely. Okay, thanks ever so much for joining me. Links to the products are in the description. Don't forget to look out for a new drop of online exclusive in November as well, so they're coming. And yeah, that's it. Thanks ever so much. Stay safe, take care. I'll see you again soon. Bye.